The voice that exposed a killer.
Have you ever heard a voice from the past? A voice that was never meant to be heard again? This is the story of a tape that shouldn't exist, a recording that would unravel a case everyone thought was closed. It all started in a dusty corner of a forgotten evidence locker, with a simple cassette labeled Jane Doe. Police procedure dictated it should have been destroyed years ago, but it wasn't. And on this tape was a voice, a final message from a woman who had vanished without a trace. Her name was Ilara. For years, her case was a ghost in the precinct files, officially closed due to lack of evidence. But this tape held her last moments. The official report said she left, started a new life. Her family never believed it. They heard her last voicemail, a cheerful message about being home soon. This new recording told a different story. It was faint, filled with static, but her voice was unmistakable, laced with a fear that sent a chill down your spine. "He's here," she whispered on the tape, the sound of a struggle barely audible in the background. It's not who you think." Then a strange sequence of numbers, seemingly random. 4719. The line went dead. For years, this last recording was dismissed as corrupted data. But what if it wasn't random? What if it was a message, a desperate breadcrumb trail left in her final seconds? A code. Ilara's family never gave up hope. Her sister, Lena, spent years canvassing, putting up flyers, fighting a wall of indifference. She told anyone who would listen that Ilara would never just leave. She was a planner, a creature of habit. Disappearing was not in her nature. Lena's pleas fell on deaf ears, another family lost in the bureaucracy of unsolved cases. But one person was listening. One person couldn't let it go. That person was Detective Miles Corbin. He was a rookie when Ilara disappeared, and the case haunted him. It was the one that got away, the loose thread that snagged at the edge of his career. The official closure felt wrong, too neat. He saw the pain in the family's eyes and promised them he wouldn't forget. Now, years later, nearing retirement, the discovery of this tape reignited his obsession. He took the tape home, against regulations, listening to it over and over, the whispered numbers becoming a mantra in his quiet apartment. Corbin spent sleepless nights with maps, old case files, and calendars, trying to decipher the numbers. 4719. What did it mean? A date? A location? An address? He tried everything. Then, it hit him. It wasn't an address. It was a badge number. 4719. He ran the number through the department's old personnel database. The profile that loaded onto his screen made his blood run cold. The badge belonged to a decorated officer, someone celebrated as a hero. It belonged to his former partner, Detective Frank Miller. Frank Miller, the man who had been the lead investigator on Ilara's case. The man who had personally assured her family she had likely run away. The man who had signed off on closing the case. The betrayal was staggering. Corbin felt a wave of nausea. All this time, the killer wasn't a stranger lurking in the shadows. He was a man wearing a badge, a man Corbin had trusted, had shared coffee with, had called a friend. He was the one who controlled the narrative, who buried the evidence, who silenced a family's search for truth. With shaking hands, Corbin made the call. He bypassed his superiors, going straight to internal affairs. "I'm reopening the Jane Doe case from 10 years ago," he stated, his voice firm despite the tremor. "The one you all know as Ilara, and my prime suspect is one of our own." The news sent shockwaves through the department. A hero cop accused of murder by his own former partner? It was unthinkable. But Corbin had the tape. He had the voice. The moment of truth arrived in a sterile interrogation room. Frank Miller sat across from Corbin, his face a mask of confident denial. He laughed it off, calling Corbin a bitter old man chasing ghosts. "You've got nothing, Miles," Frank sneered. Then Corbin played the tape. He didn't play the whole thing, just the numbers. 4719. The color drained from Frank's face. The confident smirk vanished, replaced by the cornered look of a predator caught in a trap. In that instant, his silence was a confession louder than any words. Ilara's voice, a faint whisper from a decade ago, had finally found its way through the static. It was the voice that brought a killer to justice. a voice that exposed a dark secret hidden behind a gleaming badge. The case wasn't closed by a detective's obsession, but by a victim's final defiant act. Ilara had solved her own murder. Her last breath wasn't one of defeat but of courage, a hidden message that ensured no matter how long it took, the truth would be heard. Her voice was the one that finally found justice. Thank you so much for joining me on this incredible story. If you found this case as compelling as I did, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more true stories that deserve to be told. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. See you in the next video.